Hi, in this video, I am going to show you how to add hypothetical scenarios to a Tableau report. This is the first demonstration of this technique, which you likely haven't seen anywhere else. I believe understanding this technique will prove beneficial for your future Tableau report creations. When your boss asks whether it's possible to incorporate scenarios into Tableau reports, the answer is yes. Here's how you can do it. Let me demonstrate how to use this report first. For example, this Tableau report allows users to enter up to 2 distinct scenario cases. We use the Show and Hide button here to toggle a set of parameters that permit users to input their scenario data. Now, let's open the scenario number 1 container and begin entering the data. Our hypothetical manager is John Doe. The region is set to an international location. As you can see, John Doe's record was immediately added to the bar chart. The hypothetical sales amount is $250,000. The country is Mexico, the state or province is Chihuahua, and the city's name is also Chihuahua. As you can see, the hypothetical sales amount is now displayed on both the map and the bar chart. Additionally, the tooltip is neatly filled with the hypothetical sales data. Now, let's proceed to open the scenario number 2 container and start entering a new set of hypothetical data. In this scenario, John Doe remains our international manager. The region remains abroad. The hypothetical sales amount entered is $750,000. The country is now Canada, the province is Ontario, and the city is Toronto, vibrant and bustling Toronto. As you can see, the hypothetical sales are now plotted for the province of Ontario. The bar chart shows that our international manager, John Doe, has a projected total sales amount of $1 million. With such results, John would hypothetically be ranked as the number 1 salesperson at the company. We might all wish for his quick promotion and for these figures to become reality. However, these are just hypothetical scenarios. Now we see that these 2 scenarios have been effectively visualized in Tableau. Our superiors should indeed be pleased to see these clear visualizations. We can also swiftly modify our hypothetical scenario's location, sales amount, and manager as per our needs. For example, we can change the province in scenario number 2 to Alberta and alter the city to Calgary. Let's switch the sales regions from international to Mexico and Canada, respectively. Notice how the bar chart automatically adjusts to reflect these changes. Look at that! Look at that! I believe that, when you present this report to your senior administrators, it will elicit many expressions of surprise and admiration, signaled by sounds such as ooh and ah. Now, some individuals within the company may not want to see John Doe as the number 1 salesperson. To change this, they've hypothetically assigned one of the international regions to Mary Poppins. Unfortunate for John, with this redistribution, he would find himself the number 1 salesperson from the bottom. When the hypothetical scenarios are no longer required, we should erase the hypothetical data and restore the report back to its original, factual state. On a Tableau server, it's very easy to revert and restore the report to its initial configuration. That being said, let's try another hypothetical scenario. This time we will expand our business into China's capital city, Beijing. Given China's substantial population, we should be able to easily expect $1.25 million in sales. Alright, let's delve into setting up the hypothetical scenarios in Tableau. Actually, the concept is very straightforward. First, you need to create some parameters for users to enter the hypothetical data. In our previous demo, we had up to 2 scenarios, therefore, we need 2 sets of parameters, the manager, region, sales, country, state, city, etc., to hold the scenario values. Then we can use the calculated field to assign the scenario values into the placeholder records. The keyword here is the placeholder records. In a bit later, I will show you how to create the placeholder records in the database. The calculated fields corresponding to each scenario parameter are established using a consistent pattern. It involves a straightforward process of determining which placeholder record is being accessed based on its row ID, and subsequently, which scenario parameter value should be populated within that placeholder record. It's worth noting that we intentionally utilize negative integers like -1 and -2 as their respective row IDs for clarity and uniqueness. It depends on your dataset. You may use a different set of fake ID values to go along with your existing real data identifiers. Note that we set up the sales scenario parameter as string data type because users can easily clear the scenario value. However, when utilizing the sales scenario parameter, it's necessary to convert the scenario_sales value into a float data type. This conversion ensures that the data type remains consistent with the existing sales data from the database. Another trick we've implemented here is the use of the int function to convert scenario_sales in the marked shelf, along with the str function to convert scenario_region. This allows Tableau to properly display the visualization. Absolutely, it's crucial to set the appropriate geographical role for the scenario calculated fields when utilizing Tableau maps in your report. For instance, you would set the geographical role of scenario_city as city, scenario_country as country, and scenario_state as state. Additionally, I also made the scenario_region has the geographical role of state or province. This is probably not necessary. Anyway, I did it. Let's examine the backend data to observe that the placeholder record with row ID equals -1 is now populated with the scenario data entered by the user. Let's explore the backend Microsoft Access database and understand how the placeholder data is created. Our sample data was originally imported from the Tableau Superstore Excel spreadsheet, a dataset you're likely familiar with. Within this dataset, there are 3 tables: the People table, which I've renamed as Managers, the Region table, and the Orders table. Next, I generated a query named placeholder_manager based on the Managers table. In this query, I selected just one record, deliberately setting the Regional Manager field having a null value and the Region field as a zero-length blank value. It's essential to have a non-null value in the Region column. This non-null value will enable us to later perform a join with the placeholder_orders query with a same column named Region which also having a zero-length blank value. Generally, it's not possible to join 2 tables using a null value column, hence the need for this approach. Following that, I created a query named placeholder_orders using the Orders table. Within this query, I picked only 5 records as the placeholder records. It depends on what you need, you can pick more or less. Actually, for my Tableau demonstration, I only need 2 placeholder records. In these placeholder records, I set all fields, excluding the row ID and region columns, to null. Similarly, the region field is assigned a zero-length blank value. Additionally, the row IDs have been transformed into negative integers. This arrangement allows us to establish a clear distinction for the placeholder records from the real data records. With the placeholder records set up for both regional managers and product orders records, we can proceed to combine them with the actual data records using union queries. We've created a union query titled scenario_managers to merge the managers table and the placeholder_manager view. Similarly, another union query called scenario_orders is established to combine the orders table and the placeholder_orders view. This process effectively integrates the real data with the hypothetical placeholders. Lastly, we perform a join between the scenario_managers and scenario_orders views using the region column. This results in our final dataset, comprising 9,994 actual records and 5 placeholder records. Remember, although we only require 2 placeholder records for our Tableau demonstration's hypothetical data, having additional placeholders doesn't hurt. With your creativity, you might find ways to leverage these extra records for some static type of scenarios which would be built in by the report designer instead of dynamically created by a user. Placeholder records indeed have diverse applications, but since the other possible uses are not the focus of this video, I won't delve into them here. Okay, back to our topic. This combined query is named scenario_manager_orders. It's the query that we'll utilize as the data source within Tableau. And that wraps up our demonstration on visualizing hypothetical scenarios in Tableau. I trust you found these techniques beneficial for your future Tableau visualization endeavors. Should you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to share them in the discussion area below. I'm committed to providing thorough responses. Additionally, I'll be leaving a copy of both the Tableau report and the Access database in my GitHub repository. You can access them through the provided link in the description below. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you found value in this content, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and consider sharing this video with your colleagues and friends. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to the next opportunity.